want to give you the secret to helping your tomato produce the absolute most tomatoes, becoming the biggest, most lush bush you can grow in one garden season. So first, you want to make sure that your tomato is really, really wet. Okay, so really soak the soil that the plant is in. What this does is it allows the plant, whoa, this thing is falling over. There's a rock. It allows the roots of the plant to get really nice and wet before we disrupt them and put them into the hole. Next, while that is sitting there and soaking up all the water, we want to dig a nice deep hole. Here is the cool thing about tomatoes, is that they can grow roots straight off of their stalk. Okay, so we're going to take our tomato plant out of here, and I'm gonna, before I do that, you see all of these branches, these coming off of here? You're gonna feel so bad doing this, but I want you to take off all of these that are really low, because do you see all of this fuzzy stuff on the tomato stalk? All of that has the potential of becoming a root. And if the tomato plant has a lot of roots, guess what? It is going to be able to produce even more tomatoes because it's going to have the ability to soak up more and more. Okay, sorry. It doesn't want to come out of its pot. There we go. Oh my. Look at all of these roots on the bottom of this tomato. It's so ready to get into the ground. So I'm gonna just push my finger down in there. I'm opening up the roots. What that does is it tells the tomato plant, hey, you're no longer stuck in the pot. You now get to spread out, and being very gentle because I don't want to break the stalk. Now we have a really big stalk that's ready to go down into the dirt. And so look at what I'm doing. See how the tomato is now a couple inches below the soil line? So the base, what was the old base, is now going to be deep buried. I'm going to push the dirt in here, and it's going to come up all along my stem. And what it's going to do is allow all that fuzzy stuff on the stem to become really strong roots. Now I think this one is actually too low as well, so I'm going to take it off. Don't worry, your tomato is going to get big. It's going to get way bigger than this, especially now because we've given it an even deeper stalk to create a deeper root system. So we have to just get it tucked in there really nice. When you tuck it in, you want to push around it like this to make sure that there's no big air pockets in there. You want those roots to be nice and tucked in so that they can start stretching out, okay? We're going to give it a little bit of water. And this soil was already nice and rich and healthy, ready for the plants. So I'm not actually giving it any fertilizer right now because it has everything that it needs in the soil already. But in a couple weeks, in about 3 weeks, we are going to come out and we're going to feed the tomato plants, and I'll be sure to show you when we do that because there's a specific fertilizer we like to use. It smells awful, but the plants love it. But before I leave my tomato plant, even though right now it's so strong and sturdy, we want to make sure that we get the support around it now. So these cages are our favorite because they collapse all the way down. So at the end of the season, it goes flat into the shed. And then right now, see, most of the time we have help. I don't do this necessarily by myself, but I'm going to gently put it around the tomato. And as I go, I'm just getting those leaves tucked up there. I don't really want the leaves to be down on the ground because they have more likelihood of getting moisture, getting wet, and the leaves right now don't need to be wet. They just need to be in a nice area where they get a lot of air movement. So I'm gonna push this down around it. See, isn't that nice how it just turns into this nice cage, but the cage goes flat when we go to put it away. So our tomato is now ready to grow. One last tip. When you go to water your tomatoes, don't water them at night. They want to rest at night. They don't want to soak up moisture. And so what ends up happening is it just makes this really damp environment around them, which can actually lead to more disease and bad bugs and stuff like that. So when you water your tomatoes, water them in the morning, get them tucked way down deep, and then you're ready for them to grow, grow, grow. And we have so many tomato tips that we will show you this year. Comment below. I'll send you the link to these cages, and you'll be all ready to get your garden and your tomato patch planted.